Oz, is it the Land of Oz? Is that the name of that theme park that used to be in Beach Mountain, outside of Boone, North Carolina? Literally, it was the Land of Oz, and you go, and it's like the yellow brick road from The Wizard of Oz and all that stuff. And then it closed up. I don't even remember why.
I really don't know. Maybe they just, looked at it wasn't cost effective at
Could
the
be
time.
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it happened during the pandemic and all that stuff. But here's the thing. They're getting ready to celebrate the 85th anniversary of The Wizard of Oz. So they're opening up this park, Land of Oz, again at Beach Mountain, or just outside of Boone, North Carolina.
Yeah, I have always wanted to go. I really have. Like, I've seen, different news stories about it, and I'm like, gosh, I really want to go to something like this. So this is the year. They're going to be open for like 3 different weekends, I think, in September.
And that's it?
I think so.
Wow. Just September?
I think so.
Well, Scott has desired to go to this thing for a long time, too.
I do. By the way, they had a fire in the mid-'70s, and then the company that owned it went bankrupt in like 1980. So that's why it all closed down.
Is that how long it's been closed?
Yeah, it's been that long.
I had no idea it's been gone that long.
Yeah, but I'm excited that it's coming back. I mean, how cool would it be to walk the yellow brick road? You see it in the movie. Now you can walk in The Wizard of Oz. You can pretend like it's like the movie, walking that yellow brick road. I think it'd be really neat to go and be surrounded by, the Wizard of Oz.
So here's what I think. Like, me, Rob, Scott, Jake, Ben, we all lock arms and we walk down the yellow brick road saying, lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
No.
Come on, everybody. Lions
and start
tigers.
skipping.
Yes.
Lions.
Tigers and bears,
Bears,
oh my. Come on, Rob.
No, you two are on your own.
Liz can click her heels, too.
I
Liz
can
put the slippers on.
Wow.
And
Slippers. Braids in my hair, little gingham dress. Who's the lion?
You
Who's
know
the
what?
Tin Man?
Definitely dress up like Dorothy, and you should also take your little dog too.
Oh, no.
That's going to be hard to have a golden doodle. Getting a golden doodle in the basket.
She does. But Liz is trying to get us to skip down the yellow brick road. I'm not doing that. I'll walk, but don't get me skipping and pretending like I'm in the movie. Because no.
So,
I'm
and
a
then
grown adult. I'm no toddler.
So I know I'm Dorothy, but I wonder which character you guys are going to be. Like.
Not me. I'm not going to be anything. But anyway, the
Yeah,
texts
you
are coming in.
Joy said, you got to go. Buy the tickets now. She said a friend of hers went last year and said, absolutely.
Oh, wait a minute. So it was open last year?
I guess so.
So why does it look like it's just reopening this year?
I think it's reopening for this year, for 2024, and then it's only open for just a little bit. And then JS also texted and said that he went twice when he was a kid. His parents took him. Great experience. Absolutely loved it.
So time to go back.
So time to go back.
Relive those
for sure.
memories, right?
So I'm looking online, though, about these tickets, and they're a little pricey. And you have to sign up for a time. The time is a 1-hour block.
You can only go for an hour?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. If it's just a 1-hour block or that's the time you can show up. So they don't have a million people, at one time.
Okay.
That's all I can
It must
think.
be a tiny place then.
It must be. But I hope it's more than a 1-hour block because there's like face painting and vendors and all of us skipping down the yellow brick road.
My wife and I went there 2 years ago, I believe it was, but prepare to do a lot of walking. But you hear the story as is in the movie, and it was very, very interesting and very cool. Had a good time with it. If you can't do a lot of walking, though, but it is interesting to see and watch.
Well, that means you put on the watch and count the steps.
Absolutely. Well, Reggie has an idea for Rob.
What's that?
That you can be a flying monkey.
No, sir. Reggie, lots of love for you, buddy, but no.
Look, I
Just
loved
saying.
my favorite characters were the flying monkeys and the lion from The Wizard of Oz. Love them so much. So I think you should be.
No?
Teresa, she said that when she was little, she went. And for a lot of years, she actually thought it was a dream place. Like maybe she didn't actually go because nobody else had ever heard of it. And so now she's, having these memories of going when she was little.
Oh, that's sweet, Teresa.
I know.
And now more and more people are talking about this place.
Yeah, and especially, I just looked at tickets, and they're like 75% sold out.
It's almost sold out?
It's almost sold
it's a short
out.
time frame it's open, right?
Yes. Yeah, and you got
Just
to sign up for an
September?
hour block. Only the first 3 weekends in September.
That's it?
I know.
I wonder why.
I don't know, but I'm like, I want to take the babies. I got to get some tickets, but woo.
Liz, I'll wear the costume and I'll skip with you. Just let me know when.
Very, very nice. So here's the thing. The Land of Oz is opening up for like 3 weeks in September, the big celebration of the 85th anniversary of the movie, The Wizard of Oz. Land of Oz, of course, the theme park named after that. It's in Beach Mountain, which is outside of Boone, if you don't know where that is. And Liz goes, hey, let's all go and skip down to Yellow Brick Road. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Is that the way I said it?
Yes. Exactly like that.
No, I think... I love
like
that impression.
I love her impression better than mine.
Skip down the road.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's some text that came in.
Yeah, well, Terry said, instead of my being Dorothy, I should be Galinda. And then, of course, Reggie had said, you, Rob, should be a flying monkey. And then we have to invite Harlan from Brian and Harlan in the afternoons because she's petrified of those flying monkeys.
Oh, if you didn't know, Harlan with Brian and Harlan, she doesn't like monkeys. Or is it specifically the flying monkey breed?
She likes monkeys. Yeah, she does not like the flying monkey from the Wizard of Oz. And then she found out there is an actual flying monkey, and I think her world was rocked.
It was.
Last week she found out, like we
Somebody
were all
sent
at
her
lunch.
a Google thing or something like that. It's like, wait, they're real?
I pulled it up in front of her. I was like, see, they're real. They don't look exactly the same.
Not like the movie.
Not like the movie.
No.
But there is an actual flying monkey. It more jumps, but still.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. So here's a mom and her daughter. The daughter's about 5 years old. She asks for the phone, and they're out in their front lawn going for a small little walk. Mom's up ahead. The daughter opens up. The mom thinks she's going to play a game or something, but she opens up the camera, starts to record, and is like giving a tour of the front lawn. And wait till you hear what happens next.
This is the clouds. This is my car. This is my house. And there is my beautiful mom. She's the best mom. I love her so much. And she's the best mom in the whole world.
Her mom is like, I would say 50 yards up ahead of her. Mm-hmm. And I don't think she hears a word she's saying.
No, because you can kind of tell by mom's demeanor, she's not listening to the kid. I mean, she's just sort of walking around. She knows she's back there paying attention. So here's what makes this even more special. When the mom goes back and watches the video on the phone, it is the first time she's ever heard her daughter Zoe say she loves her. See, Zoe has autism, and she's been nonverbal up until about a year ago. But Zoe has never said, I love you, Mom, has never said, I love you in any way, shape, or form. And this is the first time Mom hears her say those words. And she just doesn't just say, I love you. She's the most beautiful mom, the best mom in the world.
Right? Oh, my word.
And just goes on. And I have cold chills just thinking about it. And then put yourself in the position of mom hearing that for the first time.
And that was so genuine and so real and so in the moment of this 5-year-old little girl's feelings about her mom and how much she loves her. I mean, that's just, wow. I think any parent wants to hear something like that.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
And
I don't care how old they are.
No.
My 29-year-old daughter picks up the phone and starts doing that. I'm like, I'm just a mess.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't help it. You get that lump in your throat, but knowing the challenges that Zoe has had, and then mom being able to hear it.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
First, he leaves the show. Now he's coming back and bigger than before. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning. This is his radio. So I'm hearing Robert Downey Jr., who was Iron Man. And didn't his character, pass away?
He did.
Yeah.
In the last Avengers movie.
And so now the big news is that he's coming back and getting paid a boatload of money, but I just don't understand why they're bringing him back.
He's coming as a different character.
Yeah, but still, it's the same guy.
And it's in the same universe if you follow.
Whatever that
MCU?
means.
Right. So
I got to ask.
Okay.
Because Jake and Ben are so into the Marvel Universe thing. Why is this such a big deal? Why is it Robert Downey Jr.? Anybody could play this character.
You're right. Anybody could play this character. I think the story could be very interesting based on the casting. But overall, I think a lot of people were losing faith in some of the storytelling, and bringing back a familiar face might restore the faith.
Okay.
Restore the faith.
I see that. I see that. And he had some parameters, like he would only come back if a certain guy was involved in, I think, directing. Is that right, Ben? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same directors as the last 2 Avengers movies, which were,
good.
so successful and very good. So, yeah.
Well, now we need to hear Jake's take.
So I dig it. I think it's a good choice, and I especially
He's the movie
like
critic. Can you tell? I dig it.
I like it because it's not in the same universe, timeline as the main MCU story. So if it's an alternate universe, then I dig it.
Which they've had a lot of alternate universe stuff, like with Spider-Man and that kind of thing. And so Tony Stark, he won't be Tony Stark. He's going to be Dr. Doom, which is a different character altogether.
But the same dude who was Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But here's the thing. So he opted out of any Iron Man, characters anymore. And he was making $50 million for each movie.
That dude never need to work again in his life.
Oh, when they waved this kind of cash in front of him, though, he came back $79.5 million.
Plus, if the movie does well, he gets a big take of that too.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he'd get $79.5 million just for showing up.
Right.
Basically. Wow.
They got a lot of stock in him if he's gonna revive this whole thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was doing bad.
I think after the last couple of movies, it was like, it's okay.
Is that right, Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah. They weren't great. And I can't even, it's so bad, I can't even remember what the movies were.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
The Olympics are going on, and you should see the skateboarder from Brazil. Absolutely amazing. I think she took the bronze, right?
I think so, yeah.
Just took home the bronze. And what's so great about her, and she's only 16 years old. I mean, she was in the last Summer Olympics at the age of 13 on a skateboard.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, what an athlete, right? But she's so good, and she's medaling, and she's getting on the podium. Here's the thing about her. Her name is Rasa. Am I saying that right?
Raisa?
Raisa Leal.
Raisa
Leal. I got to get that name right. I want to remember that. She signs her signature, her autographs, and includes a Bible verse. And it's unique, the Bible verse that she uses. It's John 14:6. And if you know the verse, it's I am the way, the truth, and the life, and the only way to get to the Father. And she knows it's Jesus, which is amazing. And so that's what she signs. And she's bold about it. And she's a great athlete and very humble on top of that. At 16 years old.
She is. And after she won the medal in Paris, when they turned the camera on her, she actually did ASL. She signed it out, that Bible verse.
ASL, sign language?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Yes, so that she knew they weren't necessarily going to interview her in the moment, but she took the opportunity just in those few seconds to do sign language.
Good for her.
And get that verse out. She is, and I remembered her, I had to put 2 and 2 together, but she was 7 years old. She was already skateboarding, doing tricks in Brazil, and her mom was filming her, and she had on this fairy costume dress, with the wings and everything, and then she had on it looked like Converse. So she gets on the skateboard, and she flips the skateboard and then lands it. Her mom gets it posted on Instagram, and Tony Hawk, who they say,
get out.
Right, the greatest skateboarder ever, saw it and was like, I don't know who this is, but oh my goodness, what a future, basically, I'm paraphrasing. So she was already famous coming in to the Olympics.
It's
yeah.
almost like he called it that she would be in the Olympics one day.
Well,
right?
I mean, that's a guy who can recognize talent, and he did.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
You know what's wild, especially since now it's the first day of school for some students, and you got next week and the week after that. So sporadic, isn't it? I was reading about George Taylor. He's like a rising junior at Palisades High School, and he's an intern now for NASA.
That is so cool.
So he's spending at least this semester. I don't know if it's the whole thing. He's an intern, so it's like summer. So I guess the end of summer, so through September or something like that, whenever fall starts. He is one of 10% of 500 students that went out for this. That's going to be going to Austin, Texas, to be a part of University of Texas at the Austin Center for the Space Research. Isn't that wild? And he's a junior in high school.
Junior in high school, and he has to have grades that are just off the charts. He has to be, I would assume, really good in physics and math and like better than everybody else just about.
Yeah, he's like a rocket scientist.
Yeah, he is.
You know, here's what they're going to be working on. All the interns that are going to be a part of this program with NASA. It's an experiment that will fly on the zero. I don't know what the zero is, but they're going to be, that's what it says they're working on.
I think they get to do
Zero gravity stuff.
maybe so, yeah. And the G-forces and that kind of thing. So good luck with that, George.
Isn't that wild? So, George, we are proud of you.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
You may have heard of the actor Steven Seagal. Well, let me tell you about Steven Seagal. He's banned for shoplifting. And Steven has literally took from this one store 30 packets of crisps in the past 2 months. And found some barbecue beef and other flavored crisps as well that Steven likes. So Steven Seagal is banned from that store for the rest of his life.
Well, and it's surprising because he's always been so like fit that he's taking potato chips. Basically, barbecue potato chips, his favorite.
And here's the thing. The door will open up. You know how it's a sliding door. You've been to a convenience store. You know, you walk up, and if it's not a handle door, the door senses you, it opens up, you know? Well, so Steven Seagal waits till the door opens and sneaks in and then grabs on the bottom shelf because the chips are conveniently placed right by the door and will take it by his mouth and then fly off.
Well, what I really like about it is he does have some friends in the area, and so he is sharing with friends. You know, he kind of calls them over, and they all share the potato chips. So, I mean, he is doing good.
Yeah, it's very interesting. They did name the Seagull after Steven Seagal because this is literally a seagull that's going in and stealing all these things. Why they named it after Steven Seagal, I don't know, because when I first heard about it, I thought, what happened? Did he turn to a life of crime? I had no idea they were talking about a seagull.
Yeah, he was playing a hero all these years, and then this.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
That was such a mess yesterday with Ring cameras.
Yeah, I mean, it went down for hours and hours, and if you rely on it, and we have in the past, anytime, you know, you hear the little chime, I immediately go, who's in my yard?
Right? Yeah, if you got the doorbell or the little cameras that are on the side of your building and your house and stuff like that, they said the live view, the recordings, the timeline, the event history, device setup, all that stuff was down yesterday. It wasn't just you. So it was all down, but by looks like 5 o'clock, everything was back up and going.
Which is so nice because, I mean, you have your cameras, your security system for just that, for security. I mean, you don't need it often, but when you do need it, you need it.
And it really distracts Liz. I mean, seriously, this thing goes off on her phone, and she's zoned right in to see, like, her husband walking to the car.
So
son coming home.
What I like to do, especially like if my boys are leaving and they're going to work, then I'll open the microphone and go, I love you. Have a good day.
She does. Sometimes I just hear her on the other side of the building. I'm like, who's she talking to? And it's her Ring camera.
Yeah. And then the boys turn around and they're like, I love you. Love you, Mom.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
So there is a new trend for passports, and if you could see my passport photo, you would know I did not do this. So there are people, women, that are having full glam makeup done.
Really?
Having their hair done because they want a beautiful passport photo. Thing is, when you show up to travel, especially, you know, if you're traveling on a red eye or if you're going super early in the morning, typically, you're not doing glam.
No.
Like, you are showing up in your sweats and your hair in a bun and the whole thing. And so the TSA workers are looking at the picture, looking at you and going, nah, I don't think so. It's not the same person. And so this trend to have all this glam is kind of backfiring.
It's hurting people rather than, wow.
Yeah, because they don't look the same.
Well, that's true. You do that glamour shot.
Right. And it's more than glam. Like, it is full glam where you have makeup artists come in, do the makeup, do the hair, you get the blowout, you get the whole thing. And then when you show up, it's quite a different story.
That's an awful lot of work for a passport.
For a passport.
Honestly, really.
Even a driver's license. Like, I want to look good, but I don't need all that. However, when I had my passport photo taken this past time, I had just gotten over COVID.
Well.
And I looked horrible.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
That's Rob and Lizz.
In the upstate of South Carolina is a park. It's Duncan Park. It's been around since like the early 1900s. They built a lake in like the 30s. No one has ever been able to legally fish in that lake from the beginning.
Well, it's a man-made lake, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But until now, you can now fish. They actually like did some research and found out there's a lot of bass in this lake. And I guess so, if nobody's been fishing in it for all these years. Here's the part about it, though. So now you can take non-motorized boats. So I guess paddle boats, canoes, kayaks, stuff like that. But you can fish, but you can't keep anything.
You got to put it back?
Catch and release.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fisherman. My husband is. I don't understand the catch and release thing.
You do it for the sport.
I guess so.
Not for, subsistence. You don't need to eat it.
You don't need to eat. Well, you might need to eat it, but you can't eat it because you have to throw it back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't understand that whole thing. I'm not judging.
Well, see,
I just don't understand
my
it.
youngest just started fishing, and we have a creek that's behind us, although the creek is kind of contaminated with stuff. But he still catches and he throws it back, and he's great with it because, it's the whole thrill of catching the fish after you've been waiting for 18 hours.
I'm just going to
sitting
say
there.
This. So there's a fish out there with a little hook in its little.
No, you take the hook out.
But you know what I'm saying. Like, it breaks my heart a little bit.
It breaks your heart for the fish. But yet, she'd rather eat it than
well,
the fish be swimming around.
Especially if you got salmon in that thing.